I told you guys I wasn't going to be leaving you hanging very long. Alright, let's dive back in. Last I left you, we had just arrived at the Primary Containment Facility. All the way down in the Lava Lakes biome. Made it a really long way. A lot of progress in the last one. So the first half of this episode, there's going to be a lot of reading. I have a lot of stuff that I need to scan, a lot of stuff to show you guys, and a lot of stuff to explain. Okay? Goodness gracious. Another thing I wanted to make sure about is that the prawn suit would be okay down here. Now, I need to get rid of that pinned blueprint. I feel like I passed it. There's Mark 1. Cyclops upgrades. Where the hell? Right there. Jeez. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that the prawn suit would be okay down here. One thing that I've realized since the last patch back in January is that the prawn suit makes things really, really funky down here sometimes. Like right now, my frame rate has dropped all the way down to 30 frames per second. That is not normal for me at all. For this game, I'm usually well above 60 frames. But of course, while I'm recording, it records at 60 frames per second. Okay, so as you can see, I clipped through the floor. So I'm just going to go fix this real quick. Just hop outside, they come right back in. Quick fix. But yeah, my frames jumped way over 60 frames per second now. So. And it dropped again. It's kind of annoying. Oh well. Let's get to it. It'll sort itself out. Alright, so first thing is this ion cube fabricator. I'm going to scan. This device appears to be the origin of the raw mineral that forms the base of the ion cubes, which power smaller alien systems. Likely drawing power itself from the main thermal plant, this device may represent an almost limitless source of energy. And in fact, it does. You can come back to this fabricator right here and drill mine as much as many of these ion cubes as you want. Whenever you drill it, it will automatically replenish it. It's pretty cool. Now, I want to make sure I should have the room for it. I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. So just drill it just like you would any other, resource node. You will have to aim the arm sometimes because it won't exactly pick up on everything. But as soon as you're done, just back up. Yeah. It's really cool, right? So those blueprints that we got in the last episode, the ion batteries and power cells, let's do it again. That's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to remember that. Yeah, those blueprints that we got, you can come back here and get as many ion cubes as you want or need. And fabricate as many of those as you want to. Which is pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, by the way, the reinforced dive suit does not help you down here in the lava lakes. It is just simply way too hot. As you guys saw in the last episode, it was around 70 degrees Celsius, which is pretty toasty. Okay, so let's get to scanning. Ancient blade. An ancient earth blade dating back to the 13th century. Blood samples on the blade match the DNA of 7 separate heads of state from the period. This evidence supports the theory that the aliens are an ancient spaceborne civilization engaged in the surreptitious study of less developed species. So in other words, these guys have visited Earth, the precursors. That's pretty cool, right? Strange carving. Notice it also looks very similar to the yin-yang symbol as well. Alien carving. This carving is hundreds of thousands of years old and made from an unrecognized natural fiber grown on an unknown planet. It bears striking resemblance to the old Earth yin-yang symbol. Two competing theories may explain this similarity. One, the aliens visited Earth prior to the 4th century BC and influenced the development of ancient Chinese philosophy. Or two, the concept of yin and yang is universal. Since yin and yang describes a fundamental interdependency of seemingly opposite forces, it may be a necessary existential understanding in some form in all sufficiently developed civilizations. The tapering of two circles, union, into opposed and infinite simile, it's a weird word, small points, the finite, is one logical way to represent this understanding and may have developed independently by species other than humans. I'm fairly certain they visited Earth. Alien statue. This artifact is unpowered, suggests it serve a ceremonial rather than practical purpose. The pyramid resembles vines spiraling upwards toward the warm blue stone mounted above it. It may represent a plant found on the aliens' homeworld, a building of religious import, or even the gravitational pull of their home solar system. That's pretty neat. Rudimentary tablet. Oh! There we go. Okay. I thought it was going to reset on me. This device shares many similarities with the tablets used to access the alien facilities, although its structure is rather less complex. It may have served a similar purpose, granting security access and storing relevant data, and was thus kept here as a form of legacy support. Circular objects. Holographic projector. This device contains network apparatus and a holographic projection unit. It was likely used as a communications relay, capturing and projecting the image of the user to a remote location. There do not appear to be any other devices in range. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? We could have communicated. Alright, that's all for this side. I'm gonna grab some water out of my prawn suit. If I can, if he'll let me. And he's not. Please don't do it again. It did it again. Well, at least I can access my storage. Okay, grab some more waters. Run and take care of this again. This is a very, very common bug. It is very annoying. I am sorry if you come across it. And hopefully the devs fix this fairly soon. Not a fan of recording videos and showcasing bugs. Not a good look for anybody. Ancient tech. This guy, leave me alone. Well, I haven't even scanned you yet, have I? You just need to hit me once and then you'll fuck off? No, you are just going to be persistent, aren't you? Keep coming so I can just... Okay. This little shit. I don't want to do it, man. I'm trying to be nice. Just let me be. Whatever, I'll scan it from here. Alien tech. Translation device. This device stores linguistic data from over 1,000 different languages. The core of the device may allow alien text to be read and translated. Analysis of the onboard data reveals a number of ancient Earth languages, and the term CHB Clive appears many times in the device's data. Its import is unclear. The device seems to be configured to translate into the designer's language. It will not work the other way around. Now, I recently read that this right here, this CHBC Live, that is an Easter egg planted by the devs. I do not remember exactly what it is, but I do remember that that is actually an Easter egg. Pretty cool. What's this little fella? Alien building block. This rock-like object features organic as well as mechanical parts, and there is some genetic and technological crossover with the design of the self-warping constructs encountered elsewhere. It appears to serve no purpose in its current state and is awaiting some kind of activation sequence. Materials such as this may have been a fundamental building block of the aliens' technology, or even of the aliens themselves. Ooh, ominous. Empty case. I can scan an empty case? Oh, it's not empty. Scan shows some form of advanced nanobot inside the seemingly empty case. These bots are substantially smaller than any developed within the Federation, and it is not possible to ascertain their exact function. It would, however, be unwise to release them. That's pretty cool. Unusual box. Organic matter particulator. This device contains a highly unstable radioactive isotope likely to destroy all organisms exposed to it while leaving physical structures intact. Although it would function perfectly well as a weapon, it was more likely used to sterilize spaces for later inhabitation. Without instructions, it would be unwise to interact with it. I completely agree. Crescent artifact. Last artifact in here. Tracking implant. This construct is emitting a high bandwidth signal consistent with alien transmissions intercepted elsewhere. DNA on the exterior indicates it was once implanted inside one of the life forms indigenous to 4546b, its size suggesting the subject was a Leviathan-class organism. Beyond tracking and broadcasting its location, the implant may also have recorded biological data on the subject, however this data cannot be retrieved. Pretty wild. Okay, where do I want to take you guys next? Let's go in here. I'm gonna go through this middle one first.
This room appears to be a biological archive storing more than 40 indigenous egg specimens in different states of development.
Goodness gracious. So we can't scan anything in here, but this includes all of the eggs that you can find in the game, along with a lot of other ones too, which is pretty cool. So if you want to come in here, take a look at all the different eggs. You can see them. You can also see the ones that used to be in the game or were never even available in the actual game itself, outside of in here, which is pretty cool to see. All right, let's come and grab this data download from the terminal.
Integrating new PDA data.
See Emperor Leviathan research data. Specimen size categories have been adjusted upward to accommodate this species. It's bigger than a regular Leviathan. Pretty badass. Feeding and digestion. Alien research data indicates that despite its size, this species feeds entirely on microorganisms it filters from the water, which themselves depend on a complicated ecosystem of plant and animal life. Reproduction. Large ovary-like organs are carried in the creature's middle section, suggesting that other species on this planet it produces eggs. However, internal scar tissue indicates probable infertility. Enzyme 42. The Emperor manufactures Enzyme 42 within its stomach cavity to break down its food, and it will occasionally expel it into the surrounding waters. This substance was found to neutralize the effects of the bacterium, and its presence in the ecosystem today would explain how life on the planet survived the outbreak. It would remain to be explained by what mechanism the enzyme is being delivered. So that explains why they started doing experiments and researching on the Sea Emperor. Health. Comparative analysis of size and metabolic rates indicates the specimen captured by the researchers was approximately 1,600 years old. Extensive internal and external scar tissues suggest it had lived well in excess of the peak lifespan for its species. Assessment. While a healthy Emperor specimen may have held some potential as a cure, it is unlikely any research subjects survived quarantine procedures. Well, shit! That sucks, doesn't it? Alright, let's move on. Okay, so I brought you guys into this central room for a reason. These on the sides, left and right, respectively, and the same ones over here, to the left and right, are unique. All four of them lead to different alien arches around the upper part of the map, around the main part of the world. It goes to 4 different biomes, and there is a specific reason why. I'll explain that later. So this is a cool little room, right? Let's check the data download first.
Integrating new PDA data.
Ventilation control. Water flowing to and from the primary containment facility is being automatically controlled, independently of other safeguards. Data on the water composition has been recorded. The inflow. Water is being drawn from different biomes around the surface of the planet. The water temperature is considerably lower than the volcanic environment outside the facility, while microorganism and nutrient counts are substantially higher. Outflow. Oxygen-deprived water is being flooded from the system and recycled back to the surface. Pretty badass, right? Whoa. Can I... Oh yeah, that was the inflow pipe. That's right. Peepers entering the containment facility. The pipes drawing water into the containment facility are filled with peepers arriving from the surface. The fish shows no sign of distress. The specimens scanned all have high consumed quantities of seeds and organic matter from the surface. Some specimens are beginning to show signs of infection. And you can see the peepers going through the water right there, which is pretty cool. Nice little touch by the devs. I dig it. And then the outflow pipe. If you're paying attention, you will see peepers in this one as well. That guy was having a rough time, wasn't he? Okay. Enzyme host peepers leaving the containment facility. Remember that golden peeper I scanned early on? Yeah. The outflow pipes are filled with peepers traveling back towards the surface. Specimens show no symptoms of infection. All specimens scanned are carrying enzyme 42, which data suggests inhibits the bacterium. We just read about that. Specimens' stomach cavities are otherwise empty, suggesting they may have purged the contents before entering the pipes. Assessment. If peepers have evolved to distribute the enzyme via the pipe network, this may explain part of the mechanism by which life on 4546b has survived since the bacterial outbreak. So, you remember those alien vents that we've seen here and there? Saw one in the dunes the last episode, and then you saw another one early on, over there next to Keen's Pod, Life Pod 19. I think it was in my first or second video when I was over at that one. Those alien vents lead down here. Some of them are intake vents, which come down here, and then other ones are outtake vents, which expel all of this, including the enzyme 42 golden peepers, which is pretty cool. Let me come over here. I can't remember if I can scan anything else on this side or not. I think there's something on the far side. So let's go over here. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I'm totally wrong. Okay. All right. Whoop. Yeah, I'm seeing things. Okay. All right. So that's a cool little room. Like I said, the other two, I'll just go ahead and show you one, just so you know what it looks like. The one on the other side mirrors this one. And then the ones on the opposite side of this containment facility are the same way. See, it just comes straight up to an arch. You can go to the arch and it takes you to a specific biome. Now we'll explain why in a little bit. But we are going up here next. Let's go ahead and grab this one.
Integrating new PDA data.
Enzyme 42 project data. According to translated data logs, an indigenous Leviathan species was found to produce a unique substance referred to as enzyme 42, which inhibited the symptom of the Kharaa bacterial infection in other indigenous organisms. The specimen was captured and contained in a purpose-built habitat for further study. The alien researchers went to great lengths to provide for the lifeform's environmental needs, including the import of interdependent flora and fauna via an on-site warp gate. However, its health quickly deteriorated. When quarantine was imposed, all warp gates and force fields were sealed. All attempts to develop the enzyme into a vaccine have been unsuccessful. So, according to this, they brought one of the sea emperors down here so they could study it, but its health quickly started to deteriorate. Once quarantine was imposed, after the research facility up there was attacked by that sea dragon and the bacterium got out, they shut everything down. They shut down all of the arches, the warp gates, and all of the force fields were sealed. They were like, you know what? Screw this. We are out. No more. Okay, last room up here. Oh, hey, little fella. Preserved fetus. Sea Emperor fetus. So that's a little baby. Found preserved in a display case, it was likely a child of the adult specimen contained within the facility. Physiology. Superficial damage to the specimen indicates it was artificially removed from its egg casing. Stunted tissue development suggests the organism expired during the removal process. Tissue samples have been taken from the digestive tract. Analysis. It appears the aliens were attempting to formulate a cure for the bacterium from enzymes produced in the specimen's digestive system. Without a young, healthy specimen, these efforts were in vain. So clearly, they dissected it, did research on it in attempts to, fabricate that enzyme 42 and find a cure for the Kharaa. It didn't exactly work out very well. Preserved egg casing from a sea emperor. Shell composition. The shell casing is formed from thick layers of carbon composite, suggesting an extensive gestation period. This Leviathan species may give birth just once per century, perhaps just once in their lifetimes. Shell casing incisions. Precise incisions suggest a laser-based tool was used to cut open the egg casing and forcibly remove the fetus inside prior to full gestation. Analysis. Time pressure to develop a bacterial vaccine may have driven the alien researchers to cut open this egg and remove the fetus for study. It is also possible that, removed from its parent and natural habitat, some vital condition for the infant to hatch naturally was not met. Interesting information right here. So, in other words, the aliens couldn't be bothered to wait for it to hatch, so they prematurely opened up the egg to get the fetus out. I don't know about you guys, but to me that sounds pretty fucked up. Pardon my English. Alright, so we are heading back over here for the coup de grace. I need some more water. I need some drink in real life too. Excuse me 1 second. That's much better. All this reading has left me a little parched. Okay, so this is why you needed to fabricate a blue tablet. Pretty straightforward. They're not difficult to make. You can get the resources you need for it down here, which is super helpful. All you need to bring are the resources to set up a fabricator. So a base, power, and the fabricator itself. Alright, so we are just going to mosey on through here. It's another Moonpool. Oh, hello.
Are you here to play? Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you. We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it, as they did.
All right, that is Big Mama. That is the adult sea emperor that we have been reading about. She has been stuck down here in the primary containment facility all this time. Nobody to talk to, nobody to play with, and naturally, she is bored out of her mind. So she is here.
Detecting unusually passive behavioral patterns in nearby predators. Reason unknown.
So she's been hanging out here. She's very excited that not only can we hear her when she's telepathically communicating with us, but she's wondering if we're here to play. If we're going to play nice, because the aliens just did research on her. So, from that PDA communication just now, detecting unusually passive behavioral patterns in nearby predators. In other words, the predators that you see are not going to attack us. They are very docile in here. It is completely safe outside of drowning down here. So we're going to scan this incubator. Hatching enzymes. The Emperor specimen's eggs are attached to some form of incubator. In a normal life cycle...
Environment scans indicate the water here is rich with a rare, plankton-like life form, which depends on the organic detritus produced by the ecosystem around it.
Okay, thank you for interrupting me again. But she's basically explaining what we inferred from looking at all the intake pipes and the outtake pipes and all that. They were pumping all those nutrients in here to keep her healthy and full. Okay, excuse me. In normal life cycle, it seems likely that the sea emperors would have buried their eggs in shallower waters, where different organic materials in the soil would have triggered a hatching response. The incubator suggests the aliens had resorted to developing artificial hatching enzymes, which would simulate, the egg's natural hatching environment, but were unable to discover the formula. With extensive information on the sea emperors themselves, it may still be possible to fabricate an artificial hatching enzyme using indigenous ingredients. However, the only surviving source of that information may be the sea emperor itself. Well, that's pretty cool, right? And we got the actual eggs. So the shell is an uncommonly strong shell lining. Organic growth on the exterior suggests these eggs may be hundreds or thousands of years old. Alien tubes. Alien devices penetrate the outer shell layer, likely designed to supply them with nutrients and to isolate them from the surrounding environment. Amniotic sac. Like many eggs on 4546b, these do not contain a nutrient supply, which is solely exhausted by the embryo. Instead, they exist in a form of natural stasis, awaiting appropriate hatching conditions. That explains why we don't have to, feed the eggs in our alien containment. Fetal organism. There is a high genetic match between these organisms and the Leviathan in the vicinity. They appear to be stable and healthy. It is likely that ideal hatching conditions for the eggs varied considerably from ideal survival conditions for the parent. So, what do these guys need? Well, probably an ion cube for starters.
My young need to hatch, to play outside this place. We have been here so long. The others built a passage to reach the world outside. I asked them for this freedom, but they could not hear me. If you help us, I will give you freely what the others tried in vain to take.
So in other words, Big Mama was not playing the aliens game. She wasn't okay with how they were treating her young and her eggs. So she refused to help them. She just said if we help her young to hatch, we will get what we want. Which is pretty fucking cool. Let me see here. Got the blue tablet here. It's pretty neat. Let's see here. And this is another alien arch. Put another ion cube in here to open it up. I'll show you guys where that goes here in a second.
With the passage you have opened, my young can leave this place.
That's right.
First, they must feel the time is right and break free of their shells. This is what the others could not force from me. To you, I give the secret willingly.
Right on. So, she just gave us the blueprint to the hatching enzymes. And this is what the precursors were looking for. She just gave it to us willingly because we opened the arch for her young. Let's see here. Sea Emperor's life cycle. I'm gonna hop on my prawn for this because that's actually quite a bit to read. But I'm feeling generous, so I'm gonna read it for you guys. Available biological data has been used to synthesize the effects of the alien bacterium on the sea emperor's natural life cycle. This creature likely lived and moved in small herds around the planet's ocean trenches, coming to the surface to feed off the huge volumes of microorganisms in the shallower waters. Family size would be strictly limited by available food supply. Offspring would likely split off at a young age to form their own herds elsewhere. Given their sparse population, mating and egg-laying was likely infrequent, perhaps once in a lifetime event. The species likely had a preferred environment for egg-laying. In fact, successful hatching may depend on such conditions. Given the rarity of this event, it is impossible to calculate those conditions precisely. There is no evidence to support the assumption that all members of the species were immune from the alien bacterium. Even if this is so, there is evidence that introduction of the bacterium decimated life on this planet, and this would have had catastrophic effects on the Emperor's food supply and survival rate. The symbiotic relationship between this specimen and other life forms likely developed as a direct result of the bacterial infection. Those life forms which learned to keep the Emperor alive survived with its help. This may explain the vast tracts of lifeless ocean in a rough perimeter around the Emperor's location. Makes sense! Life prospers the closer you are to this bad girl. And you can see that same stream right there following her that follows those golden peepers, which you can see some right there, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to do a little exploring over here in this prison of sorts. There's one thing down here that I would love to grab, and I'm fairly certain that there's... I could have sworn there was thermal geysers here somewhere as well. If I'm wrong about that, it's not a big deal. It's a mild inconvenience at worst, but I would be very happy. But one thing that I do want to get is this bad boy. Sea Crown. There is one specific location that you can get that thing on the surface part of the world. Otherwise, you can only get it down here. It only exists in those two locations. The other location is actually very, very close to the safe shallows. But I didn't want to grab it. Okay, yeah, I actually... What is the temperature in here anyway? Because I don't see any... Yeah, there are no thermal geysers down here, which is saying I could have sworn there were some down here, but I was probably wrong. 12 degrees. Yeah, that is not enough for a thermal plant. So I could do one of two things. I could build one right outside of the containment facility, which would be very dangerous, given that the sea dragon is right there. Or we could just go back through here, which is what I'm going to do. This is the first time passing through a warp gate. In the Let's Play, anyway. And look where we are. You recognize the location yet? We are just outside the quarantine enforcement platform. Yeah. That's where it's at, right there. Okay, so I'm going to leave Bjorn for a minute because I know that there are thermal vents around here somewhere. Right there. See? Yep, it's right there. Do I still have everything on me? It looks like it. What did I drop in you? Oh, he has the other plant. Okay, by the way, those plants that I brought, I'm going to show you this blueprint real quick. Eye stalk, fungal sample, bulb bush, ghost wheat. I brought all those with me because those are the ones that I need. I grabbed all these while we were playing throughout the game because I would need them down here. If you didn't bring them with you, that is perfectly fine. Do you remember those 4 arches inside the primary containment facility? Each one will take you to a different biome that will get you one of those ingredients each. So you can mine some of the, the ion cubes from the fabricator, use them to open up the alien arch, go through them. get the ingredient that you need in that specific biome, and then warp back. Pretty cool, right? Okay. 1, 2. And I'm going to set you right there. The thermal plant has to be over 25 degrees Celsius before it will start generating power for you. And last I checked, 68 is much, much higher. Where? Do I really need to put you right over here? I do. Wow, that's annoying. Okay. Oh, fuck off! Stupid bleeder.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
And fabricator. How much room do I have? Yeah, I've got enough room for all that. Boom, 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 boom. Do I have more water on me? I do, and I have more food. Look at that. Look at that. See, boys and girls, that's why you bring all that water with you. Even though I completely outdid myself, I have a whole nother row in my prawn of it. Hatching enzymes. Organic substance derived from plants found in the Emperor's natural breeding grounds, designed to trigger a hatching response. Alright. So, now we have the hatching enzymes. We're just going to head right back through the alien arch. Come on, Mr. Jump Jet. Come on. And you can hear Mabel in the background saying hi. And we're heading back. Alright, Big Mama. It's time. Get your ass down here. Alright, once you have the hatching enzymes, all you have to do, come up to this incubator and place them in there. And there they go. Aren't they cute? Go to your mama, little ones. A cute little cutscene. Okay, and then they say goodbye. Oh, she's hurting.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end. What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seeds to a new land. Or a creature so small, it sees the gaps between the grains of sand. Farewell.
So sad. And as you can see, the babies went through the alien arch, but they left behind these little bubbles. Touch concentrated enzyme 42. I took my gloves off so you guys can see this. Holy shit!
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. No remaining sign of bacterial infection.
Boys, we are cured. All right. Right on. So we cured ourselves. Fantastic. Well, what's next? Well, do you remember our first visit to the quarantine enforcement platform? Went inside, got stabbed with that needle, and it gave us that angry red light. Yeah. It's because we were infected. Now let's go try doing it now that we're cured. And now that we're cured, the warpers are not going to mess with us anymore at all. That is going to be a huge relief to you guys who find these things extremely annoying or terrifying. Also, you will see the little guys right here outside the arch. They will eventually spread out to different biomes, and you can find them later on in the game swimming around in their respective biomes, and they are much, much bigger as well. It's actually really, really cool. They are actually bigger than the Reaper Leviathans. I don't know if they're bigger than the Ghost or not, but they are fairly substantial in size. And I'm going to leave Bjorn right here. I'm just going to go running. Whoa! Right through the Moonpool. Straight this way. Oh shit, no. There's that alien arch. By the way, you'll notice that it's open. Do you remember the one that I opened in the alien thermal plant? And I didn't go through it. That brings you back here. Just as a heads up. Quick little shortcut. Which way do I need to go? I need to go up. Is it up? Am I lost? I feel like I'm completely turned around down here. Fuck. Yeah, I need to go up. I'm tripping. Up, 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 up. That's right. Up we go. There we go. Here we go. I still have all these beacons on. How rude of me. Okay. We're back here. Now that we're cured, let's try this again. Ouch. So what we just did was turn off the enforcement platform. That will enable us to leave the planet. Pretty freaking cool. So the next question is, how the hell do we leave the planet? We are cured. We have turned off the enforcement platform. What the hell do we do next? Well, do you remember that last transmission we got from Altera HQ? Giving us the code to the captain's quarters? Well, let's go revisit the Altera. I'm fairly certain it would have been faster to go the other way, but that also would have brought me straight over to Mabel, and I don't feel like mingling with her right now. So, I'm going this way. Oh, shit! Before I go, where did I put my base? I need to deconstruct that real quick. Where did I put it? Well, why is it dark? Son of a bitch. There's an arch. You go away! I am healed. I've got no beef with you. There it is. Okay. So to the north? Okay. I'm just gonna take this guy with me. Yeah, there it is. I can barely see it. I don't think you guys can see it yet. Okay. I should have just deconstructed everything right after I made the enzymes, but oh well. No big deal. Exactly what we did last time. I should have plenty of space for it. Just deconstruct, deconstruct, deconstruct. Fucking biters. And power transmitter, and then last but not least, the thermal plant. Okay, we have all of our stuff. Let me grab the rest of my water in here. And keep in mind that at this point, I technically don't need to be using my water or getting additional food. There are bulbul trees here on this mountain island. So if you get this far and you're low on food and water, don't panic. Just hop up on the beach. Help yourself. Okay. And there's the side of the Aurora coming up on. Which means I completely missed Sammy. A little unfortunate. I was kind of looking forward to a little Reaper rodeo, but no big deal. Okay, and I'm just going to be going in and out. I am not taking the scenic route. I am not taking my time. I just want to get on with my life. Actually might see Sammy. Yeah, there he is. Hi, Sammy! Don't mind me. Okay. This is good enough for the prawn. It's not going anywhere. Now, instead of going up the top way, we're going to go in the way that we exited last time we were here. Ooh, okay. Right through here. Excuse you both. Don't mind me. Sploosh. And straight through here. Up here. Through here. To the left. Down. Around. Through all the pipes. Where's... There we go, right here. Fantastic. And then up here, gonna do a little bit more parkour again. And I am fucking this up royally. There we go. All right. And then to the left over here, past cabin 1, is the captain's quarters. The the PDA entry that we got for it is... Where is it? It's down here somewhere. Right here. 2679. And it's also a data download as well. I've had this code memorized for a long time. No big deal. There's a picture of the Aurora as well if you want it for your base. Excuse you. Miniature copy of the Aurora, as well as wall shelves. Look at this. We're still getting blueprints. Awesome. All right.
New blueprint acquired.
But that's not what we came here for. We came here for this.
Integrating new PDA data.
last recorded transmissions. I'm going to play this. It is an audio recording, but as you saw, we got the blueprints for the Neptune rocket and the time capsule. So we just found our way off of this rock, boys.
Average long-range transmission delay, 8 hours. Opening last recorded transmissions.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution. Out.
This is Altera HQ. Attached to this message, you should find the blueprints for an escape ship that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's designed to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Aurora long-range communications relay offline.
Outstanding. Okay. Over, down, up. And get up! Get up, you bitch. Come on. Thank you. Ignore the cave crawler. Back outside. And it's daytime! Yay. Back to Bjorn. And then back to base.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright. So, what a beautiful look at Sammy. And he's not coming near us because he is perfectly satisfied with us following all safety regulations. Our prawn suit meets his expectations and his standards. We are good to go. It was a hell of a trip down there, wasn't it? And there are the annoying cows. I am almost happy to see you again. And I'm not going to fall for it this time. There we go. Yep. Got the CB stuck that one time because the legs didn't load in.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright guys, that was a hell of a trip. We are now cured. We have the blueprint for the rocket. The juvenile sea emperors are out and about, flourishing, spreading their enzyme 42 all over the place, starting to gradually heal the planet. So this is going to be it for this video. I'm going to wrap things up. And the next video is probably going to be the last one. We're going to be working on building the Neptune rocket and getting off this rock. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.